Connor felt his men's tension as their small galley glided to shore. He flicked his gaze up and down the shoreline, ready to give the signal to reverse oars should enemy warriors spring from the bushes, shouting their battle cry. All he heard in the still night was the rustle of reeds brushing against the side of the boat and the flap of wings when a startled waterbird took flight. The steel blade of his claymore made the familiar whoosh as he pulled it from its scabbard. He dropped over the side into icy water up to his thighs. With barely a ripple, his men followed him into the water. Together they hauled the galley onto the shore and hid it under low-hanging trees. All Connor's senses were alert to danger as he and his 5 men climbed single file up the small bluff to the cottage. He neither saw nor heard anything suspicious, and yet he felt as if someone was watching them from the darkness. Once again he wished Ian, Duncan, or Alex were with him. They had saved each other's lives countless times, and he could trust them absolutely. Though he had hand-selected the warriors who accompanied him tonight, he did not know them well, except for Sorrely. He would have added Lachlan to the group, but he could not find him. When they reached the cottage, Connor held his sword at the ready while Sorrely rapped on the door, his fist making a hollow sound on the weathered wood. "'Tis me, Sorrely." His soft voice sounded unnaturally loud after their long silence. The door opened a crack, and a beak-nosed face peered out. "Open up," Sorrely said. "I've brought our new chieftain." Connor wondered how long he would be known as the new chieftain. The beak-nosed man stepped back inside, and the door creaked open wide. If Duncan or his cousins were here, one of them would have gone in first to make certain it was not a trap. Connor was not afraid of death for himself, but his death would very likely lead to Hugh being made chieftain, and that would destroy the clan. To succeed in his mission to assure the clan's future, however, he needed more than the fealty of his clansmen. He needed warriors who were fierce in their loyalty and willing to die at his side. Highlanders respected fearlessness, whether it was foolish or no. Connor stepped over the cottage's threshold, praying it was not an ambush. Inside, a dozen men, mostly farmers, crowded the cottage. Connor swept his gaze over the men, the lone woman standing by the hearth and the children peeking out from the loft overhead. He signaled for 3 of the warriors who accompanied him to stand guard outside. With 3, they could keep an eye on each other, as well as watch for MacLeod's. "I am Connor, great-grandson of the Lord of the Isles, grandson of Hugh, the first MacDonald of Sleat, and son of Donald Galach, our last chieftain." Though it would be safer for all of them if this meeting was over quickly, the men would expect a certain amount of formality from their chieftain. "Bianoch an tai," a blessing on this house. "Mila falcha orav." 1,000 welcomes, his beak-nosed host greeted him. "I am Malcolm." As each man introduced himself, Connor fixed the name and face in his mind. Then he said, "Tell me how you and your families on this side of Trotternish fare." "Our children are hungry," one man spoke up, "and our women fear we cannot protect them." Connor listened patiently while several of the men took turns speaking. "We hold Trotternish Castle again, but taking back all of the peninsula will be a more difficult task," he told them. "Every man must be a warrior and join in the fight if we are to remove the MacLeods and make your families safe from attack." There was a general rumble of agreement from the men. "When the time comes to fight, I will send the crown Tara," Connor said. The crown Tara was a wooden cross that had been set on fire and then dipped in blood to extinguish the flame. It was the traditional method for raising the clan. "Every man who sees it will be expected to pass the word." There was another rumble of agreement. Then one man asked, "Where shall the clan gather?" "It must be near here." That was the reason Connor had come to this particular place tonight. "The MacLeod warriors are spread thin among our own people here on Trotternish. Their strength lies on the other side of the Sneezort River, so we must stop them there." The room was quiet as the men took this in. "Where is a good place for us to ride?"